channel. My name's Spencer, this is TopLineRacer, and we bought the Whistlin Diesel Duramax. Now, why would someone like myself buy a truck that's been beat that hard, for scientific purposes, I might add, but why would someone do that? Well, that pretty much has everything to do with this truck behind me. Let's take a walk around that, and then we're going to talk about the plans. For all of my new followers and subscribers, gained about 1,000 this week, thank you guys so much. This is the 97 Chevy 3500 dually with the 454. This has been on the channel a few times, but we really don't have it on here too regularly because we just don't use it that much. What we've used it for mostly is pulling frames and bodywork on some different rebuild projects that we've done, not super like the professional way, but that's what we've done. This is the longest owned vehicle in the entire garage that you see. This is my brother's truck. He bought it back in like 2005. It was a almost perfect, like mint 97 truck at that time. And since then, it has been neglected a little bit, and it's been through some hard times. Obviously, not as hard of times as if it would have been on the Whistlin Diesel channel, but still, it got neglected a little bit. Maintenance, cleaning, pretty much everything. And as we start around the body, you'll see that it has an SS bumper. They didn't make an SS bumper like that for these trucks, but that's an aftermarket. It looks pretty nice, I think. We used to have a cowl hood up on top, it had like a cowl and then like a scoop on top of the cowl. It was pretty nasty looking, but it was a cheap one and caught wind at about 50 miles an hour going down the highway, flipped up, and well, that was the end of that hood. And then we had another hood that also got messed up after that. It's a long story. This is the third hood this truck's at. Down the side, all the pinstriping is pretty much worn off. It's just faded, nasty. The paint's like, it just needs like polished at best. And at worst, probably just all repainted, which might be what we do, but I'll get more into that later. But you can see here, all the bed sides. This has been through like 4 or 5 different construction projects, like down to the studs homes, and it's taken its toll on it. The bed's pretty beat up inside. We never had a bed liner or anything. And the bed's also lost all the paint on the front. It's not rusted through, but definitely need to address that before too long. Like window seals on the back are all destroyed and gone. They've dried out. Do have good tires on it. Check these out. They only have a couple thousand miles on. Those are pretty recent. But it needs new brakes, updated, everything that way. You can see the faded paint. This truck was from Colorado. Got a lot of sun out there, obviously, for the first part of its life. And, well, it took its toll. Around the back end here, you can see that we have jackknifed the trailer on it a couple of different times. Roll pan's all out of place. It's hit on this side as well. Actually, funny story about that. Along with the replacement hood, we've also replaced the roll pan on this. I think this is the second one. Maybe it's the third one. I'm not 100% sure on that because it's been a while. But we towed a 75-foot single-wide trailer, I think it was a 75-footer, with this truck on a bumper pull. And it worked for a little bit, but then it just ripped the hitch straight off and the whole thing hit the ground. But so I don't recommend, don't do that. I mean, don't tow it at any of those with one of these, but definitely not just on a bumper pull. And on this side, we got this is like drywall, like paper that's pretty much melted itself to the truck. Maybe you could get it out. I don't know. And then we got a cracked up dually fender here and just general dirty, nasty. I left this truck as is. I didn't wash it or do any of those things. So I want to see what exactly we've been dealing with. It does have an aftermarket grill that we put on, but not great. These aftermarket headlights have all fogged up. Emblem's not real nice anymore. All the chrome's coming off, and this bumper was never even painted to match, so it's pretty rough as well. And up on the roof, we don't have a whole lot of paint left. It's pretty much, it needs a repaint. And honestly, now that we did around the outside, the interiors, it's probably worse than the outside. Now, I don't know, maybe I could get Whistlin Diesel to pressure wash this for me and get it all cleaned up, but as you can see on the door panels, we got the cigarette burns. None of us smoke, but somebody did and burned holes through it. There's about 20 years of junk in there. This is the carpet. That was supposed to be like sort of that color, but even that's pretty nasty. It's the whole way. Yeah, it's just gross. Dash is all cracked up on different spots along the top. I don't know if you can actually see any of them here, but just like little hairline ones right there. There's one. Seats are all kind of ripped up. They're not in the worst shape, but they are all stained up. Kind of same deal along with the carpet. The dash is also cracked over there. The radio doesn't work. The AC doesn't work, and the heat only kind of works. Typical Chevy problem, but all of the headliner stuff on the mirrors at least is coming down. I think it's starting to in a few places up here as well. Not too bad, but definitely something that we got to fix. Back seat, same deal. Even the door panels, you can see how nasty they are. All the carpet, everything. We got our David Guetta CD. We got our shop towels, which obviously haven't been used to clean this thing. Just a generally worn out old interior. And now that we've covered all the cosmetics, let's talk about the mechanical. As you can see here, the old 454, the 7.4 liter, the big guy, the biggest gas engine they had at the time, is running pretty good. You might detect a little miss. I'm going to talk more about that in a second. But transmission on this thing is like perfect. They ran the 4L80E on these, and it is like bulletproof, no issues ever. We actually accidentally dropped it into reverse one time at about 40 miles an hour, and it just locked him up, and it was no problem after that. That was kind of surprising. Inside, you got no check engine lights. We do have an ABS light, but all the temps, everything like that, stay nice. Four-wheel drive, down and shift on the floor, works perfect. All that stuff is pretty much good to go. So for whatever reason, and I think it's a fuel-related issue, the truck has a miss, and we've done spark plugs, wires, fuel pump, fuel filter. I don't remember if we did a distributor cap. Probably could be injectors. We didn't do those yet. But either way, it's been running just a little bit rough, and it's actually gotten worse over time. And if you have to tow or do any of those things, if it goes into where it starts missing, and it doesn't do it all the time, sometimes it runs perfect, you're pretty much done. Like, you can't go up hills. You might be able to be all right if you're on a completely flat, area, but you're not going up any hills. And we've just been tracing this down for a while and haven't really had the time to diagnose it properly. But that got us thinking about what other options could we have for this truck? Because you don't see these trucks very often anymore, and if you look under this thing, one rare thing, it doesn't have a common Chevy problem. Now you can see some surfaced rust here, but there is no rust on this truck to speak of at all. The rocker panels are 100% solid. If you look the whole way down the frame, there is nothing other than surface rust. It can be cleaned up like with no problem at all. The cab corners, if you come back here, completely solid. There's a little dirt there, but no rust. If you open up the doors, rockers 100% in. You can see a paint flaking right here and no rust behind it at all. Now, that's part of the reason why we started talking about what to do with this truck, because we can recognize that this thing will end up rotting away if we don't do something with it before too long. So we started talking about how do we save this truck, all right? It's sat for so long. It's been so neglected. What do we do to save it? Could we just give it a quick coat of paint, go give it a good once over, make sure the engine's running up, fix the miss, all of that stuff? Or do we go crazy with it and do some really cool project? Well, today I'm here to tell you that I think we're going to do the crazy cool project. So with all that, you've probably already figured it out, and most of you figured it out with my Instagram post earlier this week. If you don't follow me there, it's TopLineRacer. Go check it out, because you'll see stuff a little bit earlier than you will here on YouTube. But we plan to swap the Duramax engine, Allison transmission, and a newer interior. Obviously not the one from that truck, because that got pressure washed, away. But we're going to put a new interior in this truck and the full Duramax setup complete into this. I've heard that it's about as difficult as can be. They said don't do it, but we really want to try it. Now, I'm not really opposed to rebuilding the Burgundy Duramax. I know that's what a lot of people thought was going to happen, and actually Whistlin Diesel thought that himself, and he posted about it, so I don't blame anybody for getting that idea. But that was never my idea, or what I had thought of to do. It never even really came to my mind. I was just like, I just want the engine and transmission from it. But I wouldn't be opposed to that either. I don't think that's any more difficult than fixing and, swapping everything over into this truck. I don't think fixing that one's more difficult than swapping this one. You get what I'm saying. So if you would prefer that, I'm going to put a poll up sometime this week on Instagram and on Facebook. Check that out. I want to see what your thoughts are. I did have one other idea, and that is, what if we made this a tribute truck to the Burgundy truck? We kind of did the same stuff, cowl hood, paint it red or wrap it red. Probably wrap it because we actually really like the black's pretty nice. But you know, just make it a tribute to the original Burgundy truck, and I think that would be kind of a cool idea, and we could even maybe make the interior a little bit fancier in kind of a Regency style. All of those things might happen, they might not, even if like the poll for, you know, rebuilding the other truck is like 100% and this one's 0, we still may just swap this one because that was the plan. But I at least want to put the options out there and see what everybody thinks and what would be most interesting to all of you guys. And then the last question to answer, when am I bringing this truck home? I don't have it right now. I'm from central Pennsylvania, and the truck's in Indiana. That's about a 9 or 10 hour drive, probably 10 if you're towing a trailer out there with you. And I'm going to go get it in the next week or two. In the next week or two, we should have the truck here in the driveway starting on all of the plans. Next video, we're going to do a garage update. I know we have so many new people here that I at least want to show you around what other projects and things we have going on, because it's not just going to be the Duramax, but we'll try to focus on that as much as possible because I know that's why a lot of you are here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any thoughts, put them down below. Have a great day.